Both teams to score is an extremely popular football betting market for both traders and punters alike. Why? Because in comparison to other football markets, you often see more attractive pricing. On average, a typical both teams to score football market goes off between a price of 1.9 and 2.0. There's no question, calling things right can see sizable profits. However, both teams to score is one of the hardest markets to crack in football betting and trading. Because in most cases, the odds are justified, with 51% of football matches finishing with both teams scoring. So this week's upload, I'm going to help you out with some strategy to tackle the both teams to score marketplace. By the end, you'll be picking out the best opportunities in minimal time. Now, we've got a lot of football strategy videos coming up for the Premier League season, so don't forget to subscribe down below to avoid missing out. So once you start doing some research into the both teams to score markets, you soon see that the same teams routinely over and over again outperform the average both teams to score statistic. For example, last season, Spurs on average had 66% of their games ending in both teams scoring. Although if you take that statistic and look at away games only, it rises up to 79%. This of course shows us that home and away is a very influential factor when it comes to both teams to score. In fact, last season the top 11 teams had an average both teams to score statistic of 53%. However, when we look at those teams deeper though, we realise it's just a handful that brings up the overall average. For example, when we look at Chelsea, only 37% of their home games ended in both teams scoring. Although when you look at that away statistic, it jumps all the way up to 79%. That's not to say that Chelsea didn't score in their home games, it's to say that both teams didn't score in Chelsea's home games. So when it comes to criteria, both teams to score markets typically go off at a price of 1.9 or thereabouts, giving it an implied probability of 52.6%. I'm going to suggest the first thing to do is find the teams that have a higher both teams to score percentage than this, paying some extra attention to when both teams scored the most. The next step is pairing them up with another likely scoring team for the alternate outcome. To do this, I'm going to use two resources that I'll share with you on screen now. So when it comes to finding the right games, footystats.org is a good site. It has some good tables listed there with the relevant information broken down into home or away. To find them, you just need to navigate from the home page to the league you want. We'll go with the Premier League here. Scroll down to the bottom. You'll see there's lots of different statistics there. We can go with both teams to score, and then it's just a case of selecting the season that you want to see the data for. On screen now. However, we need to see if the two teams involved statistics gel together nicely to form a situation where both teams are likely to score. So to do that, I'm going to use another resource, my favourite football statistics site. You may have seen it elsewhere, Infogol. All links are in the description down below. Infogol basically highlights the most relevant statistical information on a per match basis for each match listing. That's a bit of a mouthful, so I'll show you on the screen here. But down the bottom, below the initial statistics for the game, you'll see that they highlight some key attributes at the bottom. So just here, you'll often see statistics about both teams to score, unders, overs scoring, and if teams have won or lost their recent matches. So you can see in this example, Manchester United have won their last 4 away league games. Now Infogol also displays XGs easily under all the teams as the season goes on, but we can do our own team research by going to the team section, finding what we're looking for in terms of both teams to score and their current and existing XG ratings. So when that's been used in conjunction with footystats, you can see the value in terms of linking up that information, gelling together nicely, seeing if there's an increased chance of being both teams to score in a particular match. So doing a little pre-match research like this can go a hell of a long way, particularly when you're trying to find a potential situation where both teams will score. Now, as most of you will already know, the only way to actually make money longer term is to find value in the markets and the odds, get an increased price in comparison to what's actually happening. So the last part of this puzzle will always be finding the live, updated, fresh statistical information and watching the match with your own two eyes to see what's happening on pitch, so that you can then see if a potential situation is translating into a real situation, finding yourself value in the market. So to do that, please check out last week's upload if you haven't seen it already, about statistics and how you can do further in-depth pre-match analysis, not including both teams to score, talking about other strategies. That's a useful one there. And also, if you found this video useful, please don't forget to tap the like button down below.